Shalom and welcome to Practical Spirituality here in the holy city of Jerusalem overlooking the Temple Mount at Esha Torah. Today we're talking about the second part of tripping. Our sages tell us, the Kabbalists tell us that we're supposed to be, their words are litael ba'otiot, litael b'oisius, which means to travel in the letters. That they say we're supposed to travel inside the letters, meaning you're supposed to click on a letter or in a word and go into it and just go and go and go and go. Probably there's no one in this room who doesn't have an excuse to not do, let's say, for example, your silent meditation, Amidah, the silent prayer we do, or Birkat Hamazon for like 45 minutes each time for like half a year. Why? Because you don't even know what you're saying because you haven't tripped into the letters yet. You haven't tripped into the words yet. So you haven't clicked enough on them. I'm not asking you to do it all at once. I've done that. I did it all at once. And I was in 45 minutes Shemona Esrei for like 9 months maybe. Every single Shemona Esrei because I refused to do Shemona Esrei without tripping into it. And taking each word and going in and in and in and in, and where's that go, and where does that go, and where does that go? And then when I felt like I exhausted my path in the search into that particular word in Shemona Esrei, then I would move to the next word. And I didn't mind taking the time to do that because I felt like such a faker to skip over it anyway. I couldn't live with myself. So at least this way, when I finally got lunch, which I missed every day because Mincha was before lunch, when I finally got lunch, scraps of the leftover scraps of Esha Torah's lunch, I was okay and I was satisfied. First of all, spiritually, I'd been in another realm, so that was fine. I didn't even have that much of an appetite after that realm. And secondly is I could live with myself, that I'm not just going over things. I truly believe that the reason why none of us want to wash anymore and they're turning every bread into mazonos these days is because our souls can't take another Birkat Hamazon without paying attention to what we're doing. Our souls can't take it. Our souls are allergic to us ignoring our spiritual path. Speaking of which, I have to make a bracha or I'm going to start like swallowing my tongue. I'm getting dry. Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Ha'olam Shehakol Nihiyo B'dvoroi. Let's burn some sage. That would be fun. So here we have some Israel sage. I already burned a little. I was leading a hypnosis session a couple hours ago, so I was hoping my client wanted sage burning, but I didn't ask. Just like I'm not asking you. So we're going to get a little burning of sage. It's just so special. Amazing. And it's amazing that this smoke's going up. It's just going to dissipate and disappear, but you're going to smell it across the room, which is really amazing because because nothing happened next to you, and somehow you'll smell it. And that's why smell is considered the most spiritual sense. That's why God blew the soul into the nostrils. It's your most spiritual sense, and it doesn't even require tangible physical contact because you're not going to have any physical contact with any of this, but it's somehow will permeate the room eventually if it doesn't set off a fire alarm. If the fire alarm does go off, though, don't worry. They will just say, Yom Tov must be here teaching a class. Burn a little more. You smell it yet over there? Not yet? You smell it already, Lucian? You guys smell it, yeah?
I smell it.
Okay, great. Excellent. All right. I just need a place to put it. Why don't I have a little more water? Nothing flammable. Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much. Can I have one of those pieces of paper towel, please? It is something flammable, but please God, it's going to be great. Okay. Now, and I'm so sorry that we don't have the smell for you, those who are watching this live or watching these videos. It's a shame you can't smell the sage, but we'll smell it for you. Okay. Now, you smell it back there yet? Yeah. Yeah, you got it back there? Okay, good. Okay, excellent. Now, what we're doing is we're starting with Baruch, okay? And we did this yesterday, so I'm going real fast on Baruch and Atah. But I forgot to tell a story yesterday that I taught this class, Baruch and Atah, yesterday's class, to a group. And one of the people in the group was a really vivacious, kind of charismatic guy who was real outgoing, kind of extrovert type, wild guy. He didn't know any Judaism at all. Like, this was his first Torah class ever. And he didn't know Aleph Bet. He didn't know how to read Hebrew or anything. And what he did was he really knew Baruch and Atah well by the end of our hour. Just like, you know Baruch and Atah pretty well? Excellent, because we went through it for an hour. Bro, that's all he knew. So he goes into Shabbos the following day, and he went to synagogue, went to shul. He went to the kotel, and the day, whoever he ate with, he went to their shul. And anyway, he came up to me Sunday. He said he had the holiest Shabbos ever, and he davened the whole Shabbos. And he says, all he said the whole time was Baruch and Atah. So he went to shul on Shabbos day for 2.5 hours. And the only 2 words he knew were Baruch and Atah. And he said it was just super special. And you said something nice, Chava. You said that his prayers were probably of the highest prayers before heaven, in heaven that Shabbos, because he was into it, Baruch and Atah. He was not ignoring it all. Okay? This is, it's not getting too smoky. It's too smoky for us. This is more than I usually would do when I'm privately meditating. But I'm trying to give it to everyone else right now. It looks like it's almost out. Kind of. Okay, so real quick, let's just get Baruch and Atah. Let's try it again. Let's get Baruch and Atah. So we got Baruch, and then we've got Atah. Okay, and real quick, Baruch means, I'm not gonna explain why, but it means to humble yourself, and God is the source. God is the source of sustenance. Okay, Atah means God's essence, and that you are one with His essence, which is your soul. One with His essence. Okay, Atah is always essence, right? When someone's calling your name, they're not talking your essence. When someone's calling you, Atah. When someone uses the word you, they're talking about essence. And the reason we could call God Atah, which is chutzpah, it's second person. You shouldn't really be calling God Atah. Like a king, you call your highness. And the judge, you call your honor. And the president is Mr. President, third person. But when it comes to God, we call him you. It's chutzpah. But the reason you call him you is because you've already humbled yourself using your birkayim. When you said Baruch, you lowered your stature. And when you lower the body, what comes up? The soul. When you lower the body, the soul comes up, and your soul and God are one, because you're chelek elokam imo. You're created in the image of God, so you're one with God ultimately. Clear? So that's why you can call God you, is because you're contemporaries, just like two judges playing tennis. Do not call each other your honor. Okay? Now, the next word is the yud and the hey. I'm going to put a dash just so I can erase it later. Yud and the hey and the vav and the hey. And the yud and the hey and the vav and the hey represents, I mean, we could do about 10 hours of class on yud, hey, and vav, and hey, but for us, we're just going to talk about was, is, and will be. Okay? Was, is, and will be, which means that haya, hey, yud, hey, haya was. Hoveh is how it's spelled, which lets you know that the present tense is where God's hanging out. He's in the hoveh now. Now is the USB cable interface between God and creation. It's hoveh. Okay, yud is chokhmah, that's just the idea. Okay, and hoveh is now. Okay, and you're made of that, by the way, because you have a yud is your head, and then you have 5 fingers, a torso is the vav, and 5 fingers. So you're like a walking yud ke vav ke. And you can actually, it actually creates a body if you look at it like this. Yud and hey and vav and, oops, that's a male body there. Yud and hey and vav and hey. Okay, so it's it actually creates the human body there, yud and hey vav, because we're created in the image of God. And in fact, amazingly, that the DNA, you know, you have this double helix that is in every single micrometer of your body, this double helix, these 2 spirals that are connected and they're held together, or else you would die. They're held together by bridges. And those bridges have acids on them. And I don't know what that means, I'm not a chemist, but each bridge has a certain amount of acids on it. And on that bridge, the first one has 10 acids, the second one has 5 acids, the third one has 6 acids, and the 4th one has 5 acids, which is yud and hey and vav and hey, and then it starts over again. Meaning God signed his name on the cells of your body. Not only your body, everybody. Every living organism that with its DNA has been signed by God on its what holds it together has the signature. What holds those double helixes to one another are bridges, and those bridges have the yud and the hey and the vav and the hey on them.
Aren't there more than one word for God, and why specifically those letters?
We're really big into this particular name, and I teach classes on each name, and there's lots and lots of names. But we're really into this name. Mostly we're discussing it because it's the 3rd word of a bracha. So we say it a lot. And Shema Yisrael, we use this name. And God uses his name in the Torah more than any other name. So it's like clearly a big one. Okay? But what it really represents is God beyond space and time. You know, like if this circles space and time, and this is outside space and time. Okay? So this is the word that best represents outside space and time. Okay? And you're inside here, inside space and time. Okay? Looks like you need a chiropractor. But that's you inside space and time, and that's outside space and time, and that's the yud and the hey and the vav and the hey. So it's like Hashem surrounding creation. It's the tortilla, but an ongoing tortilla. It's not the rice and the beans. It's beyond creation. Clear? Okay, excellent. So what else do we need to say about it? That's about it. I apologize for writing the word will be instead of will be. I wrote a name, will be. And that's only because I was once teaching Persians in Los Angeles. You can sit there, I guess. There's other seats here too. I was teaching Persians in LA, and my brother's olive-skinned, dark hair, a little too tall to be a Persian, but dark-haired, and he snuck into this class of 200 Persians. And I didn't even notice. He just was in there, like in the audience. And I was teaching about God's name, and I was saying how God was, is, and will be. And he stands up out of his chair in the middle of my class, it was in Los Angeles, and says, Rabbi, speaking like Persian, he's like, Rabbi, I understand that God is, and I understand that God was, but who is this will be? Who is this will be? And the whole crowd kind of turns and looks at him. Will be? And I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, this is my brother Sam. And my best friend growing up was Persian, and he went through puberty when he was 9, And he was already buying us beer when he was 12. His father got him a car when he was 14. But the funny thing about this family is they're very short, and we're very tall in my family, but we grow late. Like I only grew when I was like 15. So they would overfeed me and say, "We will grow him. We will grow you. We will grow you. We will grow you." And I'd just be like, yeah, I couldn't eat another bite. And but today, if I see them and I go to their events, so I'm like a head taller than his family, and he always elbows his wife in the ribs and says, "We grew him." They don't believe in DNA. And so, anyway, so that's the Yud and the Hey and the Vav and the Hey, which is God surrounding space and time. Okay, this is God before space and time. This is God beyond creation, beyond the space-time continuum. Okay, so let's work on that one. We're not going to say the name, and we don't say it anyway. We use the name Adna, which means master. Okay, we say Ado and then Noi. I'm not going to say it straight, so that's why I said and then Noi. Ado and then Noi. It's not Nai, by the way. It's a kometz under the nun, so it's Noi. Okay, that's important. Like I know people think like Hasidim are always saying oi 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 when they're davening, but the actual Shem Hashem is Noi. Okay, that's the actual biblical pronunciation. Ask a Yemenite. Okay, it's actually Noi. But you do meet people who say Nai, and you can still say Amen after it, but I know people who won't say Amen after their bracha because they're so badly mispronouncing that particular vowel. I do say Amen after people who pronounce God's name Ado and then Nai. But it is very specifically supposed to be more contracted there. Okay, that's a contractive. Kometz is contractive. Patach, I, is expansive. It's masculine is expansion. Contractive is the feminine. And every vowel is either expanded or contracted. Okay? Now, okay. And what we're going to do now is practice all three words, but let's just first practice Hashem. And we're not going to say the Adna name. We're going to just say Hashem, but we're going to have in mind was, is, will be beyond space and time. Okay, was, is, will be beyond space and time. And let's begin. Okay, we're going to take 3 deep breaths. By the time we inhale the 3rd breath, we're going to close our eyes. You can close them already if you want, but I'm going to close mine then, so no one feels self-conscious. I know some people are not used to closing their eyes. I will feel your eyes open, so please don't make me feel self-conscious while we're trying to meditate here. Okay, so then I don't have to try to meditate. Can you even meditate if you try? It's like trying to fall asleep. How does that work? So, okay, here we go. Inhale, nose, exhale, mouth. Inhale, nose, preferably abdomen, expanding. Exhale, mouth. Inhale, nose. We're going to say Hashem. Hashem. Okay, inhale. Exhale louder. Hashem. Inhale. This time you're going to go. I'm going to explain it. Go long. Hashem. This is God surrounding space and time, beyond space and time, was, is, and will be. Adon is master of all. Inhale. Louder, please. Hashem, surrounding space and time, beyond space and time, was, is, will be, creator, master. One more time. Inhale. Hashem, beyond space and time, causer, asserter. Okay, open your eyes. Now we're going to do Baruch Ata Hashem. Here we go. Inhale. You're going loud with, you're going to stay on the ooh, like Baruch, and I'm going to explain while you go, okay? So you can have your eyes open or closed, it doesn't matter, but I'm going to be looking at the board, just getting stuff, explaining stuff as you go. Once you get it, we'll do it 3 times all the way through. Inhale. Baruch. And that's you humbling yourself. You're stopping to recognize God as the source. You're not the source, He's the source. You've humbled yourself. Inhale. Adon. You're talking to God's essence. Second person is the essence of a being. Okay, when you're one with his essence because you've humbled yourself, the soul's contemporary with God. Inhale. Hashem, that which surrounds space and time, was, is, will be, the master of all reality. Excellent. Okay. You're on your way. Okay, now we're doing the next word. The next word is Elokeinu. And that word is, we put a space there. Okay, it's Elokeinu. But Elokeinu is a construct between the name of God called Elohim and the word Shalanu. Okay? Elohim Shalanu, our God. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what do you notice about the Yud and the Mem under here? What does Yud and Mem signify at the end of a word? What's Yud and Mem? Plural, right. Now, how can the Jewish people have a name of God that's in the plural? How could it be we have a name of God in the plural? So the answer is that this name, what's wrong with this picture? Am I still in the frame there? What's wrong with this picture?
Move it. And everything in the frame.
It turns a little bit. You can just turn it a teeny bit. So what is this, what's wrong with this picture? If God's an infinite being, I put him outside the finite world. He's infinite. He's beyond space and time. He's unlimited by space and time. What did I do in this picture? I limited him outside space and time. So how God fills space and time, the rice and the beans, is these squiggly lines have to go inside the circle. And this is Elohim, the name of God representing inside space and time is Elohim.
So why is the plural coming?
Why is it plural? Because inside the world, inside the physical world, there's multiplicity. You have glasses, you have a suit jacket, you have a shirt, you got buttons, you got a body, you got hair, you got ears, you got this guy over here next to you. He's not you, and you got this
Talking
table.
about the essence of Hashem, not about.
No, we're out of essence now. Now we're in what's called the world of the divine. Divine, it should be noted that the word divine does not mean God. The word divine means God immanent inside of everything. It's called Elokut. And Elokut is how God manifests from infinite into the finite. Because, think about it, before there was something, there was what? Nothing. And that nothing's what we call God, ultimately, because whatever precedes this place is that being. Before space and time, there was absolutely nothing. And that nothing created the world, and that's why we call it God. Because it's not, meaning it's nothing in that it's not knowable. It's not made of stuff. It's not made of anything. And so, but that nothing had to make the world out of something, because there was nothing. So did God go to Home Depot? Did God go to Costco? Where did God go to buy the world? Where did he go get the stuff from? The answer was, well, all there was God. So where did God go to get the stuff? The whole world's made of himself. Well, then we have to clearly distinguish. There's God beyond creation, and there's God in the stuff. And God inside the stuff is called Elokut. Or in this case, the state of God inside stuff is Elokut. Like God inside of this, or inside this table, or inside my sweater is called Elokut. But the name of God, that God creates the physical world with, is Elohim. So everything you ever see, and everything you've ever touched, was made of Elohim. It's all made of Elohim, or we call it Elokut, which is the state of God inside creation. Yeah.
So the word before Hashem,
Yeah.
that's outside the physical
That's
world.
eminent, yeah, beyond.
Doesn't pertain to the physical world.
No, it caused this creation to take place through these worlds called the Oilamos. Yeah. And the Olamos, once you're in the Olamos, that are these parallel realms where the 10 spheros do their weaving, it ultimately pops out into this world, which is the physical world out here. But all of that's made of Elohim. That's all made of Elohim.
But the word before
Hashem.
Hashem is not referring to the physical. his presence in the
It's
physical world.
beyond. That's the whole thing. I was saying beyond space
But this
and time.
word is.
Oh yeah, this is in space and time. That's Elohim. And that's why we have two names for every bracha. You ever thought about that? Anyone ever we're so used to growing up saying Baruch atah Hashem Elohim, Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu, that none of us ever stopped and said, why are we using two names of God? What kind of monotheistic tradition has two names for God? Why do we have two names? And it's everywhere. Almost every bracha has two names of God. And Shema Yisrael also has two names of God. Hashem and Elokeinu. And the answer is one is eminent, surrounding, it's beyond, and one is immanent, within. Which is called the divine. One is beyond creation, that's not the divine, that is essence of this unknowable being. And then there's how God shows up in what's called Elokus, Elohim. Clear?
So why are there brachas without the second name? Like for example,
There sometimes are. Motzi Lechem has the second name, but there are brachas like when the brachas the end of a long bracha, like Baruch Shamar. So if it's this other edge of the sandwich of the bracha, so then it doesn't need bracha. It doesn't need Elokeinu Melech Haolam. For example, Yotzer Or, we say Baruch Atah Hashem Yotzer Ma'oros, because we already started with Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech Haolam. So as the bottom of the sandwich, or all of Shmoneh Esrei, but Shmoneh Esrei doesn't have any Elokeinu Melech Haolam. Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu we got. Oh, we do have, yeah, we do. But then it's over at that point. Okay. Now, Elohim is how God fills space time. So I'll bring the circle back here. Here's the circle, and here you are. And here's the arrow. We're gonna point to this spot in the middle. Oops. So we have Baruch Atah Hashem surrounding space and time, Elokeinu filling space and time, inside creation, immanent, within. And that's really where spirituality is for the most part. I mean, you gotta be pretty heavy duty to start being like on the spiritual path where you're studying into beyond space and time stuff. But anyone can eat a slice of challah, staring at his wife, and just sensing God in that moment. Anyone can do that. Anyone can drink a craft beer and have that IPA dance across his tongue and just feel Hashem in that moment. That's Hashem inside this world. With it. Anyone can go to the Swiss Alps and just look at those incredible peaks and just sense God inside that. And this is God in nature, so to speak. And that's why the numerical value of Elohim is Aleph is 1, Lamed is 30, Hey is 5, and 10 is, Yud is 10 and 40. What's that equal? 31, 36, 46, 86 is the numerical value of the word 5 plus 9 plus 2 plus 70. What do we get there?
86.
1086. Excellent. 72, 81, 86. Okay, which is the word for nature. An emphatic, like the nature. Yeah, obviously the hay is convenient, but our Kabbalists actually bring it down as connected. That the word the nature, ha-teva, meaning it's emphatic. It's not just saying nature. It's the natural world is made of Elohim. It's all made of Elohim, and that's the divine. And again, though, everyone should note that the divine's not God. God's infinitely beyond the divine. The divine, God created the divine worlds. When we die, for example, we're all going to be going into those parallel realms that are creating this place. So as much of you as you may enjoy the Swiss Alps, what's above this, creating the Swiss Alps, is way more pleasurable. And even the Swiss Alps, like, it gets old, you know. Like I was there for, I went with my wife a couple of years ago for 10 days, and we had to keep pulling the car over while we were getting into the Alps. Like kept pulling the car over just till I couldn't drive. I was in such awe. But by the time we were there for 10 days, then I was already like, yeah, no. Next. But you don't have that happen when you're in the actual vibrations creating the Swiss Alps. When you live in that realm, which is where we'll be, when the soul's no longer limited by the physical world and these eyes and these ears, music won't get old anymore up there. And the whole thing's made of music because the whole thing's vibrational, and what's music's vibration. So the whole thing's really just that's why Aboiche Bashire Zimla, Zemer is vibration. Everything's Hashem chose Zemer. He chose vibrations, vibrational frequency, to create our world. So Aboiche Bashire Zimra. He chose to create this place with Shirei Zimra. Okay, and so we got to Elokeinu, which is amazing. We're doing pretty well. It's 4:00, but let's practice Elokim real quick. So this is going to be Elokeinu, which is Elokim Shalanu. The reason why we say Elokeinu, even though it sounds quite ethnocentric, like who are we to call God our God? Like he's not everyone's God. Obviously, he's everyone's God. So why are we being possessive about our relationship with God? And the answer is because of the prophecy of Mount Sinai. Because of our direct link that we all had this prophetic experience as a nation, and we're all reincarnations. We're all reincarnations of the people who stood at Sinai. So that's why we call him Elokeinu. Because he's not like the God of our father only. See, someone who's got a tradition of God in their family, so God gets taught down the line, and so you always have Elokei Avotenu. You have the God of our father, or the God of our forefathers. That God of our parents, which hopefully you were raised with, that God of our parents, anyone can have. Jews can have, Gentiles can have, anyone can have that. But Elokeinu means that you have a first-hand experience of God. That it's not just your parents' God, this is your God. And you stood at Sinai, you were there, you experienced it. Now, for those of you who can't quite remember your Sinai experience, remember your Sinai experience? Remember yours? For those of you who can't remember your Sinai experience, your challenge in life is to turn God into Elokeinu. You need to turn God into Elokeinu. It's cute and sweet that you were raised observant, so you have Elokei Avosenu. But you need to make it Elokeinu if you're planning to give it to your children. Because you can't give your children your parents' God. You can give your children your God, and they'll be able to say Elokei Avosenu, the God of our parents. But you yourself have to you every day say Elokeinu. And that's our God. And you have to have that relationship for your kids to be able to say Elokei Avosenu. How do you get that relationship? Well, that's what we're doing here, and we're working on that. We're doing pretty good so far. We're getting to an Elokeinu state here. And then obviously there's intellectual proofs, which Asia Torah is really good at, and stuff like that. But it's not everything, because it's not personal. Someone proving God doesn't make it your God. It makes that there is a God, but it's not a personal relationship. Now, prayer helps a lot to create a personal relationship with God. And I don't mean the prescribed prayer of the Siddur. I mean heartfelt personal prayer helps make God Elokeinu, makes him a personal God to you. And there's something else I was going to say was really important. You all seem so mesmerized today. You're like a little bit like, I feel like I got to check everyone's pulse. Yeah. But mine too, by the way. I'm like super mellow today. If I burn any more sage today, I don't know what's going to happen. And tonight I'm leading a 4.5 hour meditation experience. Speaking of which, meditation is our Tu B'Shvat Seder. There's Tu B'Shvat Seders going on all over town. I'm running a men's Tu B'Shvat Seder this year, which is just for hardcore meditators. There's going to be tons of fun ones, lots of fun ones. Asia Torah even has its own fun one. And so there'll be a lot of fun ones. ours is not fun, and ours is like, okay, it's fun. It is fun. I forgot about the music. There's a lot of music and dancing and stuff because we get elated and we just start dancing and cranking the music. But it's anyway. Tu B'Shvat's coming up, so any meditators who can handle 12 hours of food meditations, which is like really, it takes patience to. But it's also the part of Tu B'Shvat is fixing the sin of Adam and Eve who ate the fruit. That fruit was apparently allowed to be eaten if they just waited till the end of the day, but they like jumped in a little too early. So it's a patient 12-hour experience of gratitude with food. And anyway, but if there's any men who are interested in being part of that, please let me know. There's also for hardcore female meditators, there's going to be a Tu B'Shvat Seder for women in the Old City with this great Kabbalistic lady named Sarah Schneider. And she's, maybe it's Yehudit, Sarah Yehudit, maybe? Sarah Yehudit Schneider. So females who are into meditation, she's going to be leading a few-hour meditation, food meditation. To get involved in that, you could be in touch with, I guess, my wife or something, through me or directly to my wife. Okay. Here we go. We're going to practice. So Elokeinu is how God fills space and time. This is God immanent inside of space and time, meaning Elokus, within. Okay, here we go, everyone. 3 breaths, and then we're going to be done today. We're going to just go through Elokeinu for a little while, and then we'll do all 4 words. Inhale. Exhale. You can close your eyes. I closed mine. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Elokeinu. Louder, inhale. Elokeinu. Inhale. Keep it strong. I'm going to say it. Elokeinu. God filling space and time inside of all things. He's the oneness within it all. Inhale. Elokeinu. When you say this word, you can fulfill the commandment of recognizing God's oneness, which is Achdus Hashem. Inhale. Elokeinu. God immanent within all things in the world of plurality. That's why it's plural. Inhale for Baruch. Baruch, which humbles you that you're even saying Baruch, and it's Baruch is drawing down from the source of sustenance. Inhale. Atah. Atah is second person essence of the being that you're speaking to, and you also have that essence since you humbled yourself with Baruch. You're part of God. Hashem. Inhale. Hashem was, is, will be, surrounding space and time, master of the world. Inhale. Elokeinu, filling space and time in a direct connection, our God, a relationship that you have with God. Going back to Baruch, inhale. Baruch, a little louder please, humble, you're humbling yourself before God. God's the source of all reality. Inhale. Atah, the essence of God, is the second person calling him you, and you're part of that essence. Your contemporary. Inhale. Elokeinu, surrounding space and time, was, is, will be, master of all. Inhale. Did we just say Elokeinu?
Yeah.
Sorry, Hashem. Inhale. Hashem, surrounding space and time, was, is, will be, filling all creation. Inhale. Elokeinu, filling space and time. Immanence, our God. Okay, open your eyes. In case I don't get to Melech HaOlam tomorrow, because I see I'm losing patience. So, Melech HaOlam is... Melech is a certain, there's a lot of words for leadership and rulership in Hebrew. Melech is the most kind one. It's a melech that's a melech in a relationship. What does that mean? How can a melech be in a relationship? And the answer is free will. See, when you think king, you immediately think despot. You immediately think that there's going to be a loss of free will amongst the citizens. But this is an interesting melech. This is the melech that lets you gives you lots of slack, lets you get in lots of trouble. He actually will orchestrate the trouble you get in. Like, have you ever thought about it? Even the stupid moves you've made were orchestrated by God. Meaning there's a very mature being that lets you, mess yourself up. But he's still the king. He's the absolute king of the universe. I mean, this is definitely the king of the universe. It's just the king of the universe that grants you to choose to be close to him or to go away from him. How does he do that? Through being hidden. Being hidden. And the word hidden in Hebrew is the word ayin lamed mem alam or ne'elam. Hidden. Or the word olam. Melech ha'olam, the hidden God. The way that he does it is by being hidden. Thank you very much, everyone. Shalom. So I'm asking you all to do at least one bracha day